I have been hearing a lot of noise coming out of the Indiana Farm Bureau Football Center lately, and it is clear the front office is not sitting on their hands. We are tracking three major developments that could define the next chapter for this franchise. From a key locker room anchor securing his future, to the long-term blueprint being laid out in the draft room, and finally, a bold suggestion to elevate the offensive ceiling. If you are as invested in this team as I am, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to help us reach 1,000 members of this community.
The Indianapolis Colts have officially finalized a deal to bring back veteran tight end Mo Alie-Cox, a move that provides much-needed continuity in a room that requires both blocking stability and red zone reliability. When you look at the landscape of this roster, the decision to retain Mo Alie-Cox speaks volumes about how the organization values his specific skill set within the current offensive scheme. Having been with the team since his transition from basketball, Mo Alie-Cox has evolved into one of the most dependable blockers on the edge, a trait that is often undervalued by casual observers, but is absolutely essential for the success of the ground game. In an era where modern tight ends are often treated as oversized wide receivers, Mo Alie-Cox provides that gritty, traditional element that allows the coaching staff to stay in heavy personnel sets without sacrificing their ability to attack vertically. From a tactical standpoint, his presence allows the offensive coordinator to manipulate defensive fronts more effectively. When you have a player who can seal the edge against elite defensive ends, the entire playbook opens up, particularly in short yardage situations where the team needs to convert on third and manageable downs. His veteran leadership in the tight end room cannot be overstated either. Having a guy who understands the nuances of the system and has survived multiple coaching regimes provides a stabilizing force for younger players who are still learning the ropes of professional football. The financial structure of this contract also suggests that the front office is managing their resources with a long-term view, ensuring that they maintain depth without compromising their ability to be aggressive in other areas of the roster. Looking ahead, the expectation is that Mo Alie-Cox will continue to serve as a cornerstone for the team's identity, especially as they look to build a more robust and efficient offensive attack. It is rare to find a player who is so perfectly aligned with the team's culture and tactical requirements, and keeping him in the fold is a calculated move that pays dividends in terms of consistency. The locker room culture in Indianapolis is built on the foundation of players who put in the work, and his re-signing is a testament to the fact that hard work is rewarded in this organization. As we look at the remainder of the offseason, this move acts as a crucial first domino, setting the stage for how the team will address other roster holes. While this might not be the flashiest transaction on the surface, it is exactly the kind of move that creates a foundation for winning football games late in the season, when the weather gets cold and the running game becomes paramount. This keeps the offense balanced and ready for any challenge that comes their way. But that is not the only situation developing right now, as the front office is already looking far beyond the immediate future.
If you are enjoying this breakdown of the current Colts roster moves, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps us going as we dive into the next big update. With the first wave of free agency now in the rearview mirror, Chris Ballard and his scouting department have shifted their full attention toward the long-term outlook for the roster, specifically looking at how the 2026 draft class can address lingering needs. It is fascinating to see how the recent re-signings and acquisitions have fundamentally altered the team's draft board. When you analyze the approach of Chris Ballard, you see a man who prioritizes high-upside talent that fits the specific physical profile he demands, and the latest internal projections show that the team is now in a position to be more surgical with their selections. The current draft analysis suggests that while the team has secured some core pieces, there are still significant questions regarding long-term depth at premium positions. The team has a history of building through the trenches, and that philosophy remains at the forefront of every conversation in the draft room. By addressing immediate needs in free agency, the organization has granted themselves the luxury of drafting the best player available rather than being forced to reach for a specific position of need. This is a critical development because it allows for a more sustainable model of talent acquisition. Historical context tells us that Chris Ballard prefers to trade back to accumulate more picks, and after this initial phase of free agency, the board looks set up perfectly for that kind of maneuver. The talent evaluation process is a year-round grind, and the scouts are currently scouring the collegiate landscape for players who possess the requisite blend of speed, size, and character that defines an Indianapolis Colt. We are looking at a scenario where the team can potentially fill gaps in the secondary or add more pass-rushing dynamism, areas that are always critical in the modern NFL. The analytics team is likely working around the clock to simulate how these collegiate prospects will translate to the professional level within the specific scheme utilized by the coaching staff. It is not just about the skill, it is about the mental fortitude and the ability to adapt to a high-pressure environment. The fan base should be encouraged by the fact that the team is not panicking or overspending, but rather sticking to a plan that has been refined over several seasons. As we approach the draft, keep a close eye on the positions that have seen the most turnover, as those are the areas where we can expect to see the most investment. The strategic implications of this draft could be felt for years as the team continues to assemble a roster capable of competing for a title. This long-term vision is what separates the perennial contenders from the teams that are constantly rebuilding. It is a methodical process, but one that is clearly defined and consistently executed. Every move is calculated, every player is scrutinized, and every pick is an investment in the future. We are watching a masterclass in roster construction that values intelligence and physical traits above all else. This approach creates a high ceiling for the team moving forward, ensuring that they are not just competitive today, but also positioned for sustained success in the coming years. It is an exciting time to be an observer of this team's evolution.
There is a buzz circulating around the league regarding the possibility of the Indianapolis Colts making a high-profile move to bolster their receiving core, and the name Stefon Diggs has surfaced as a potential difference-maker. When you consider the current offensive construction and the over $40 million in available salary cap space, the prospect of acquiring a talent like Stefon Diggs is not just a fantasy, it is a strategic possibility that could completely transform the ceiling of this attack. The primary objective for the team is to provide maximum support for Daniel Jones, ensuring he has the weaponry required to exploit defensive coverages and elevate the scoring potential of the team. Stefon Diggs brings an elite route-running capability that is arguably unmatched, and his ability to separate at the top of his routes would create immediate nightmares for opposing defensive coordinators. If the organization decides to pull the trigger on a move of this magnitude, it would signal a clear shift in philosophy toward a more aggressive, high-octane passing attack. The tactical fit is obvious. Having a receiver who can command double teams allows other playmakers on the field to operate in one-on-one situations, which is where this offense could truly thrive. Looking at the salary cap situation, the team has the flexibility to absorb a significant contract without hindering their ability to retain other core pieces down the line. This is a massive advantage in today's NFL, where space is a premium commodity that most teams struggle to manage. The emotional impact of bringing a star like Stefon Diggs to Indianapolis would be immense for the fan base, as it would clearly communicate that ownership is committed to winning right now. It is about creating a window of opportunity and doing whatever is necessary to capitalize on it while the current core is in its prime. From a scouting perspective, Stefon Diggs remains one of the most productive receivers in the game, consistently posting high yardage totals and proving his value as a reliable target in crunch time. His presence would not only help Daniel Jones develop, but would also serve as a mentor to the younger receivers' operation. It is the type of move that can elevate an entire unit, turning a solid offense into a legitimate powerhouse. Of course, any move of this magnitude comes with risks, and the front office will need to weigh the long-term cost against the immediate benefits. However, when you have the cap space and a quarterback who needs weapons, the reward often outweighs the risk. This is the kind of aggressive decision-making that defines championship-caliber franchises, and it will be fascinating to see if they pursue this path. We are keeping a close eye on any further developments from the facility as the market continues to shift.
It has been a busy stretch for the organization, with everything from veteran re-signings to big-picture draft strategies and potential roster upgrades taking center stage. Shane Steichen and his staff have a lot to sort through as they prepare for the next phase of the offseason. It is clear this team is building something with a specific purpose in mind, and the pieces are starting to fall into place. What is your take on the current trajectory? Do you think the team should go all in on a star like Stefon Diggs, or is there another path you would prefer? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more exclusive updates.